What if the plants around us, the silent sentinels of our environment, are not as passive as we perceive them to be? What if they possess a form of consciousness that transcends our understanding? Welcome to What If It's All a Game. Today, we embark on a journey into the hidden life of plants and explore the tantalizing question: are they expressing a different form of consciousness? As we delve into this topic, we will confront fundamental questions about what it means to be conscious. Can consciousness exist outside of animals and humans? How do plants, which lack a nervous system, communicate and interact with their environment? These questions will guide us as we unravel the complex and often mystical world of plant life, opening the door to a realm that challenges our traditional definitions of intelligence and awareness. Imagine a world where plants are not merely stationary beings but active participants in their ecosystems. In the last few decades, science has begun to uncover astonishing capabilities in plants, suggesting that they possess a form of awareness that challenges our basic assumptions. Research reveals that plants can respond to stimuli, communicate with one another, and even exhibit signs of memory. But what does this mean for our understanding of consciousness? Let's begin by exploring some fundamental concepts. Traditionally, consciousness is associated with the ability to think, feel, and respond to the environment. We often equate consciousness with animals, particularly those with complex nervous systems. However, plants operate through a different paradigm. They do not have brains or neurons, yet they are capable of remarkable feats. For instance, studies have shown that plants can react to their surroundings in ways that suggest a sophisticated level of awareness. When under threat from herbivores, certain plants release volatile organic compounds to warn neighboring plants. This communication creates a chain reaction, prompting nearby flora to bolster their own defenses. This phenomenon raises the question: if plants can communicate and respond to threats, could that be a form of consciousness? Philosophers and scientists alike have pondered these questions. The ancient philosopher Aristotle believed that plants possessed a vegetative soul, a form of life that allowed them to grow and reproduce. Fast forward to the modern era, and thinkers like Dennett and Chalmers engage in discussions about consciousness that extend beyond human and animal experience. Chalmers, in particular, argues for the existence of a hard problem of consciousness, suggesting that understanding awareness may require expanding our definitions to include other life forms, including plants. Moreover, the concept of plant intelligence has gained traction in fields like ecology and botany. Researchers like Stefano Mancuso have been at the forefront of this exploration, coining the term plant neurobiology. Mancuso argues that plants have their own form of intelligence, characterized by the ability to process information about their environment and make adaptive decisions. This perspective challenges us to rethink our definitions of intelligence and consciousness. Now let's examine the evidence supporting the idea of plant consciousness. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence comes from the study of plant responses to light. Plants exhibit phototropism, bending towards light sources, which indicates a sensitivity to their environment. Additionally, they can differentiate between different light wavelengths, allowing them to optimize their growth and photosynthesis. This level of responsiveness suggests a form of awareness, albeit different from animal consciousness. Another fascinating aspect of plant behavior is their ability to remember past experiences. Research has demonstrated that some plants can retain information about their environment and adapt their future behavior accordingly. For example, the Mimosa pudica, commonly known as the sensitive plant, has been shown to exhibit habituation. When repeatedly subjected to a harmless stimulus, the plant learns to reduce its response over time. This ability to learn and adapt raises intriguing questions about the nature of memory and awareness in plants. Let's consider the implications of these findings. If plants exhibit a form of consciousness or awareness, what does that mean for our ethical considerations regarding their treatment? Should we consider the well-being of plants in the same way that we consider the welfare of animals? The ecological ramifications are also profound. Recognizing the intelligence of plants may change how we approach conservation and environmental stewardship. Instead of viewing plants as mere resources, we may start to see them as vital, sentient participants in our ecosystems. However, as we explore these ideas, it is essential to remain critical and balanced in our approach. Some skeptics argue that attributing consciousness to plants anthropomorphizes them, projecting human traits onto non-human entities. They contend that while plants exhibit complex behaviors, these actions do not necessarily equate to consciousness. For instance, the processes that govern plant behavior are often rooted in biochemical responses rather than cognitive awareness. Additionally, it is crucial to consider the limitations of current research. Much of the understanding of plant behavior is still in its infancy, and there remains a lack of consensus on what constitutes consciousness in non-animal life forms. Can we truly define consciousness in a way that encompasses both animal and plant experiences? The debate is ongoing, and the scientific community continues to grapple with these questions. So what if these theories about plant consciousness are accurate? If we embrace the idea that plants possess a form of awareness, it compels us to rethink our relationship with nature. Imagine a world where we recognize that every tree, flower, and blade of grass is part of a complex web of life, each with its own form of intelligence and experience. This perspective could foster a deeper respect for the environment, encouraging us to act as stewards rather than exploiters of nature. How does this knowledge affect our daily lives? If plants are aware, how might that influence our choices regarding consumption, landscaping, and environmental policies? Are we prepared to change our behaviors in light of this understanding? In conclusion, the hidden life of plants invites us to reconsider what consciousness means and how we relate to the natural world. As we have explored today, the evidence suggests that plants may indeed possess a form of awareness that challenges traditional notions of intelligence. The implications are profound, not only for our understanding of consciousness, but also for our ethical responsibilities towards the environment. As we part ways, I leave you with these lingering questions. If our perception of reality is so limited that we overlook the consciousness of plants, what other forms of intelligence might we be missing? And how will this newfound awareness shape our future interactions with the natural world? If you are intrigued by these questions and wish to continue exploring the depths of consciousness and reality, join us on this journey by subscribing to What If It's All a Game? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. What ideas resonated with you the most? Let's keep this conversation going, and remember, the most profound answers often lie behind the most challenging questions. Until next time, keep questioning and exploring the mysteries of existence.